Well, hello, friends. Bishop Andy C. Luter here with a long overdue video blog from my ministry. On Thursday, January 23rd, 2014, I spent 2 days in the hamlet of Hinesville, Georgia, training the current class of bishop candidates of the Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship who will be consecrated later this year. As part of the curriculum for this week, I led the students on a field trip to the oldest Black Baptist church in America, located in the city of Savannah, Georgia. The church of which I speak is the First African Baptist Church of Savannah, Georgia. According to Johnny McDonald, our tour guide for the day, this congregation confesses that the Goose Creek Baptist Church of Silver Bluff, South Carolina, also known as the First African Baptist Church of Silver Bluff, was organized earlier but dissolved around the time of the American Revolutionary War. During my visit to the First African Baptist Church of Savannah, Georgia, I was introduced to several outstanding figures of the congregation. Let me share them with you. Those figures included Reverend George Lyle, the first Black man to be ordained a Baptist preacher in America and founding pastor of the congregation in the year 1773. Lyle, after the Revolutionary War, moved to Kingston, Jamaica, where he is heralded even today as the first American missionary on the island. Following Lyle, we discussed Andrew Bryan, the second pastor of the congregation. Bryan was converted to Christianity by George Lyle, and according to some records, was responsible for the establishment of at least 3 Black Baptist congregations in the city of Savannah. Andrew Marshall was the nephew of Andrew Bryan, who took over the pastorate of the church in 1815 and served until his death in 1856. While technically unlearned, Marshall had a great love of education. He would work with the Presbyterian Church and establish the first Sunday school in a Black Baptist church on July 26, 1826. Emmanuel King Love was the next subject of our field trip. E.K. Love served as pastor of the First African Baptist Church from 1885 to 1900. Love is best remembered for being a denominational leader, and he was a founding member of the National Baptist Convention of 1895. Rounding out our field trip was Reverend Ralph Mark Gilbert, who served the congregation as pastor from 1939 to 1956. Gilbert is remembered as the spiritual force and leader of the modern civil rights movement in Savannah. He organized the city's NAACP and served as its president for a number of years. Now, friends, perhaps one of the most moving stories of the day was how the church was built. Seeing a need for a new church, Andrew Marshall convinced his members, most of whom were slaves. These slaves saved tips and gratuities from their slave masters to one day purchase their own freedom. Marshall convinced them to take their freedom money and give it to the church so that a new church could be built. What a wonderful field trip this turned out to be. And I'd like to thank the staff of First Baptist for their tour and exposure to their history. Again, I am Bishop Andy C. Luter, and I'm delighted to have spent this time with you. And until next time, please remember that God loves you, and so do I. God bless.